Lewis Hamilton has joined the group of drivers that are in a war against the FIA, as it was expected after the governing body implemented a rule change that has irritated the drivers, to say the least. Hamilton is one of the ambassadors of the sport, always publicly expressing his own opinion through t-shirt messages or helmet stickers, but it seems like the FIA wants to take away this right from the F1 drivers. The governing body has imposed a ban in which drivers must first seek approval from Ben Sulayem, which does not sit well with the 7-time world champion. What did he have to say about this matter? Is Ben Sulayem really as good as fired at this point? And do F1 drivers have the support of F1 the sport? This video has all of the answers, so make sure to stay tuned. As of 2023, the FIA plans to implement a rule in which it will force F1 drivers to come to them and ask for approval before they express a political or personal belief. If you have trouble understanding what this means, we'll explain it more simply for you. The F1 drivers won't be able to wear t-shirts like "Say Her Name" or environmental messages until they are approved by the FIA. We are not saying that the FIA won't approve them in the first place, but the fact that F1 drivers have to go through a filter before they share what they personally believe in has been a very irritating fact for them, as they have expressed their anger throughout interviews. The first ones to jump on this topic were Valtteri Bottas, who said that he has no idea why the FIA wants to control them. Christian Horner and Helmut Marko have also been supportive of the F1 drivers, adding that the FIA will do nothing but create a bunch of robots with this rule. Apart from them, Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, as well as Perez and Verstappen, have joined the FIA's backlash. But Hamilton's response was the most anticipated, because he will be hurt the most severely of all the drivers out there if this rule is implemented. When talking to the media about this matter, Hamilton said, "I wasn't really watching the news over the winter, but I heard it. But nothing will stop me from speaking on the things that I feel that I'm passionate about and issues that there are. I feel the sport does have a responsibility to speak out on things to create awareness and on important topics, particularly as we're traveling to all these different places. So, nothing changes." The fact that Hamilton is ready to risk it all and not pay attention to the FIA's stance just goes to show that he is sick and tired of their rules. And this is definitely not the first time that Hamilton has gotten into a war with the governing body. Remember that earlier in 2022, Hamilton was asked to take off all of the jewelry during racing, and he went to the extent of saying that his doctor recommended that he keep them on due to medical reasons. But now the problem is much bigger, and the fact that the relationship between F1 and the FIA is worse than ever just goes to show that Ben Mohammed Sulayem is as good as gone at this point of his career. To add salt to the wound, Ben Sulayem's stance on women has been made public, and even though it was something from 20 years ago, him not respecting women and coming from a country that has a criminal record when it comes to human rights says it all. The F1 is currently considering their options, and according to Ralph Bach, a well-known F1 journalist, Liberty Media is currently working on a deal with David Richards. David is no stranger to the sport, and he's had the role of team principal at Barr and Benetton and is currently the chairman of Motorsport UK and ProDrive. He is the preferred option for Liberty Media due to his rich experience in the sport, and the fact that he shared his interest and is more than eager to work out a deal with the sport just goes to show that Ben Sulayem's time is already counted as a president of the FIA. The anonymous team boss has also said that nobody from the team executives wants to keep collaborating with the controversial president, and it's only a matter of time before he gets replaced with someone else. When F1 was about to be bought out by a Saudi Arabian investment fund, Ben Sulayem said the $20 billion price tag was inflated. Now that Hamilton has joined the bashing of the FIA due to their new stance, one can't help but wonder what kind of attitude the president of the sport, Stefano Domenicali, has on this matter. Rest assured that it's not a good one, and we all know that they haven't been in a good relationship ever since the question of expanding the grid was brought to the public's attention. F1 and team bosses think that the sport is all about quality and not quantity, while the president of the governing body feels like the grid should strive for a maximum number of teams, 12, in the near future. And with the latest development of the FIA banning the driver's expression, Stefano Domenicali has taken out yet another jab at Ben Mohammed Sulayem, further providing stronger evidence that the sport is growing tired of the old-fashioned views of the driver's impact outside of the sport. When talking about this matter, Stefano Domenicali said, "We were the one with We Races One to create discussion using our platform the right way. I do not believe it is about preventing the driver from communicating with the community. It is a matter of respect. What I don't like was when you want to say something to attack another one. That is wrong. But there is also respect for the partners you are working with. You need to be balanced. No one will put any barrier on that unless you're going to be political, because we are in a sport dimension. But to highlight the attention around certain subjects that are at the center of discussion of today, that will be no problem in my opinion, and I'm sure the FIA share that view." Furthermore, the FIA has changed a rule that has hurt Mercedes regarding their front wing plate design, one that Ferrari was able to capitalize on and Mercedes didn't. It's safe to say that the FIA is currently walking on thin ice. And the guy that everyone points their finger at is Ben Mohammed Saleem. It doesn't help that he had a very controversial stance on the driver's ban policy, saying that they are here to only drive and nothing else. What he doesn't seem to understand is that the drivers like Hamilton, Vettel, and Verstappen are outgrowing the sport, and they may be the main reason why the sport is drawing huge amounts of new fans. Therefore, with them expressing their own beliefs without being interfered with, the sport can only gain instead of lose. But the sport seems to be moving in the wrong direction, one that has been led by Ben Saleem, and Stefano Domenicali has also hinted at a possible breakup, saying that the sport won't race in countries where human rights are under a huge question mark. All of this has been welcomed by Hamilton, with the 7-time world champion being more than grateful that the president of the sport is on their side. Obviously, Domenicali understands the point of view of the drivers, but new and upcoming teams like Andretti are on the side of Saleem. So we could safely say that there are some kinds of clans forming right now inside the sport. When talking about the support of Domenicali, Hamilton said, "I'm still going to be speaking my mind as we still have this platform. There's still a lot of things that we need to tackle. The support of Stefano has been amazing. I think all the drivers have been very much aligned on freedom of speech." What is next for the sport from this point on? Obviously, Hamilton's rage has been evoked, and that was the last thing that Ben Saleem would have wanted in this whole scenario. But given the fact that this isn't the first time that things have irritated Hamilton when it comes to clashing with the FIA, it goes to show that the governing body is ready to go into full war mode. This time, it's not only Hamilton that's going to defy orders, as the rest of the grid is going to support him as well, with the president of the sport being on their side too. With Domenicali saying that the sport will pull out of deals where there are human rights issues, indirectly implying the Gulf countries, there is a massive shakeup just waiting to be imploded in the sport. One thing is for sure, Ben Saleem's seat is currently very hot, and there are lots of people who would give tons of money to replace him. What do you think about Hamilton's stance against the FIA? Do you think that the 7-time world champion will remain in the sport just to see Ben Saleem get sacked for the greater good? Let us know in the comments below.